Hi everyone, episode 32. Just a basic episode today. Just doing some traffic patterns here at John Wayne. Hi Dad, welcome. So not a big flight to Ontario for the V2. I don't have that much time this evening. So hi Nietzsche, welcome on board. So just a casual nighttime traffic pattern here at John Wayne. Very basic, but I think that's cool stuff too. So the only thing that we need, I guess, are some frequencies here on John Wayne. So let's have a quick look. Or I can just skip to the plates, I guess. Yeah, so here's John Wayne. We are currently parked on the southeast ramp over there. And as usual at John Wayne, we will get assigned the smaller runway here, 20 left. So I guess we're gonna receive a taxi instruction from here to, so let's say Alpha, and then here Hotel, and then Charlie, and usually they depart at Kilo. So it's kind of like an intersection departure there. And then left hand all the way around, and we'll just do a few laps and then head back to the ramp again. So that's is what I'm gonna expect. Well, as you can see here on the left top corner, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, I can. You can see various frequencies, for example the tower frequency. So because John Wayne is typically quite busy and PilotEdge simulates this stuff, we need to sign into and talk to the right controller, tower controller. There are two, one for the one runway and one for the other. So I'm going to expect the 20 left. Oh, I need to disable that one. So 20 left. So that means the 119.9, like we used in the previous episode. Can you hear me, guys, or is there no sound? Please confirm, because otherwise I will be flying without you guys hearing me. I do see a microphone here. I hear sound. Okay. Cool. So 119.9, and the same goes for ground. So there's an east and a west side, as you can see here. And we are on the east side, so we need to sign into 120.8. Same goes for clearance, but I guess there are just two frequencies there. So in our case, because we're just going to stay in the pattern, so close traffic, we don't need to sign into clearance first. So only when we do a departure away from the airport, it also works for Bravo airfields, then we need to assign, then we need to initially call to clearance and say, hey guys, we'd like to depart from John Wayne, give us some departure instructions. But in this case we just stay at John Wayne, and in PilotEdge there's this general rule that we then we can then just skip clearance and just sign in with the ground first. In the real world though, those kinds of procedures are described, I guess, on ADAS or in the airport facility directory, but in our case on PilotEdge, close traffic means signing into ground first. So that is what we're going to do. Alright, anything else? Well, we can see some hotspots there, so that golden, yellow, orange boxes there, HS. Those are hotspots, meaning kind of like alert areas that we need to look out for, because most of the time, or when accidents happen on the taxiways, those are the spots that we need to look out for. Hotspots are they called. So we're gonna we're gonna taxi through HS hotspot 3. I expect to get onto Charlie, and also one thing, but I haven't seen others do this on PilotEdge. There are specific run-up areas, because I guess most of the time a lot of airplanes are taxiing on John Wayne or bigger airports, and so the controllers and also the pilots do not like other guys doing their run-ups blowing wind into their faces while they are taxiing around the airport. So you can see here is a let me see. Can I still draw? Yeah. So there's a southeast run-up, but there's also a I guess there are a midfield one, as you can see over here. So initially, if we would like to do a run-up, I guess you need to ask ground to taxi to that run-up area to do a run-up, and then from that run-up request taxi to the runway. Well, I've not heard anyone on PilotEdge do this, so I'm quite hesitant to ask for that permission. I guess because most PilotEdge users or pilots are not doing run-ups at all. So I'm going to post this on the forum, I guess, and ask Keith or the others to see what the right procedure is here. But I would expect that you need to request to do a run-up at one of these particular areas and then move onwards. But I'm going to skip that and just do a run-up at Kilo, at least if that is the assigned departure intersection taxiway there. So we're just going to see. Alright, so those are the frequency that we're going to set as soon as we are ready to go. Okay, so here we are in the dark, and as you know, in X-Plane, darkness or nighttime flying is just gorgeous. It's so beautiful. You can see the city lights in the distance. So here we are. This is our Cessna Skylane. Already opened the door. No wheel chocks. Again, I need to include that in my streams. I think also the securing my aircraft checklist. So I will do that also this session and all of the future episodes. Remove the pitot tube cover, the wheel chocks, that's good. Also the Titan on the tail. So let's just first do a cold and dark test here. So here we are in the cockpit. Let's remove the control wheel lock. Parking brakes are set. Fire extinguisher should be around here in between the seats and on the green. Doors are closed, windows are closed. ELT is set to auto. Let me just enable TrackIR here. So we can lean forward a bit and have a look here. So this is the cabin air. It's open, heat is off, flaps are retracted, our levers work. Transponder is set to off. Here on John Wayne, usually on most Bravo and Charlie airports, we need to taxi even with mode C, the altitude mode, even though we're on the ground. So yeah, that's something that you need to look out for. I guess it's also mentioned on the airport diagram. Let me on the plate. Yeah, it is. It's over here. Operate transponders with altitude reporting mode. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, so that's off, that's good. Nothing else that we need to worry about around here. Circuit breakers, yeah, we should check just before engine start. Let's lean a bit forward to see if my avionics here are off, off. Yeah, and armor switch panels here in sync. Yeah, they are. Okay, so we got a cold and dark engine or aircraft here. Then batteries on. We've got enough fuel because we refueled in the previous flight, so that's good. I can hear the engine or the battery spool or fan or something spin up. So that's good. Let's do a very brief test of our lights because those need to work. So first taxi lights, boom, there they are. And then taxi lights work too. Then the strobe lights and nav lights that we're going to check outside. Pitot heat, I should also test, what I'm not going to because there's no way to test it here on the Airfoil Labs Cessna, so I just believe that it will work. There's a strobe light, position light, and I can see the same there. And here from behind I can also see here on the tail the reflection of the beacon. Love these light effects. So those are working. Nav lights and strobe lights off. Then the avionics. See if those are working. Also can pull down
radar
the
vector
flaps.
Seal beach.
Already signed into ground, I guess, or tower.
Maintain 5,000. Expect 6,000. 1 0 after departure. Departure frequency 128.1 squawk 3612.
This is November 77, Mike Bravo, that is clear as Bob Hope, fly heading of 175
so it's on,
to
Saitek panel works.
in as filed. Altitude
we
is
can just put
5,000.
this one
Expect
on off until now. So this works. And non-shader panel messages. Yep, seem to work just fine. And also I would like to test the transponder, obviously, to see if that is working. Test. Yeah, so that is working too. Okay, so avionics off and batteries off. So there we go. Then we can go outside. Disable TrackIR. There we are. Just do a quick. Please free me of this camera position. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Pitch dark here. Baggage door. Briefcase is still in, I think. It is. Static air is clear. Let's pretend that it is clear. ELT antenna is checked. There seems the leading edge here is good. Again, walking on heels. Elevator surface here looks good. Everything seems connected. Also here. Yep, moves freely. Beacon light, everything seems to look fine. The nav antennas here are still secure. Looks good. So this side, full deflection, looks good. Hey Frosty, welcome. Leading edge looks good. Okie doke. Then the flaps. There's a wiggle. I can see they are connected, but just have a more close look. Connected. Okay, then the ailerons. Yeah, wiggle. You can see the yoke moving to the right direction, so that's good. Lights, wingtip look good. Leading edge, tie down is removed, no wheel chocks. There's a click spot here just in front of me. Let's move away from it. Again, red lines are in sync. Alright, we can do a sump. Let's pretend that we just did, because these are just static pictures. The fence, checked. Then let's go up the wing. Here we are. Let's see if we've actually got physical fuel into the wing, because those Skyhawk gauges can malfunction. Yeah. Those are working. Again, airplane looks good. Windshield looks good. Okay, let's see if I can free myself again from this camera position. Yeah. Then the oil. Got some weird engine behavior in the previous session, if you have watched on YouTube or been joining me on my stream, with an extremely high oil temperature. So some of you guys thought, well, perhaps we are low on oil, and that's why the oil heats up. But well, we got the same 7 quarts, so we had no idea what was going on there. Perhaps a little bit buggy and should be fixed in the next upgrade. That will be coming soon, I hope. Struts, enough room there. Exhaust pipe secured. Let's pretend that it's secure. Propeller blades look good. No. Bird's nest here. Filter looks good. I mean, there could be a chance, I don't know for sure, that although I'm skipping these panels here, I mean, I can just check them, and I don't believe they are doing anything. Maybe they do. And if I don't check them, then the Airfoil Lab Skyhawk, for example, messes something up with the engine. And that might explain the extreme oil temperature. I do not know. Yeah, Nietzsche, I don't know what was happening there, but perhaps that might be an explanation. I don't know for sure how well all these mechanical parts here are interacting with the engine while flying. I don't know. I don't think they are. These checklists are just very static. So I just like to rehearse and well get to know the flow here. Static airport, the second one or the first one, checked. Again, up the other wing. we've got enough fuel there. Again, no weird stuff here. Comm antennas, everything seems to be secure. Going down. Again, freeing from myself from the camera lock. Air vents look good. Pitot heat, let's pretend that it is clear. Stall warning, let's pretend that we checked that one. Lights look good. We already checked those, but no scratches, no damage. Position lights, strobe lights, looks good. Ailerons, we're finally almost there, guys. Aileron, there's a wiggle, I can see the yoke move, free movement, so these are connected. Flaps, there's a wiggle, and connected too. And finally, the wheels here, red lines are in sync. So there we are, we completed the exterior pre-flight. Let's get in. Secure our seatbelts. Boom. Guys, are you ready to do some traffic patterns here on the Charlie Airport? Never did one before, although at Palm Springs, well, it's kind of like a mix between a Delta and a Charlie. As a DRSA airport. Okay, so internal check we did, external check we did, so now we can do our startup. So first off, open the door and open the window. Parking brakes are all set. Yeah, so we can do an engine start. Let's see if my trim is, yeah. It's also weird trim behavior. The first time when I give it a spin, it just starts from the bottom. So it's not a good thing to activate the trim while taking off, because then you're... Oh no, it's not a pitch down, it's a pitch up, so then suddenly your airplane just swaps to the top. Okay, so batteries on. Yeah, that's good. Avionics are off, that's verified. Let's turn our... let me see where on my Saitek panel where my nav lights are. Here, strobe lights remain off, and taxi lights just remain off, and landing lights remain off until we go to taxi. So nav lights are on, and the beacon lights is our standard always on. So anyone on the ramp now knows that we're up to something, and they need to stay clear, hopefully. So here we are. Now we can just pretend that the whole fuel pump system works. So it's not implemented on the Airfoil Lab Cessna yet. So 1/4 inch open, mixture is full out, idle. So fuel pump, mixture full in. 1, 2, 3. Wow! USSF Steeler, thank you for donating. Thank you, man. Very encouraging. Thanks. Getting that, saving up some money to get myself a new flight simulator computer. Get some more scenery out there and better graphics, smoother, and also higher resolution streaming to you guys. So it all benefits the stream. Thank you, Steeler. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. Where were we? So we did our fuel pump stuff here. So we saw a little bit of a flow there. So our engine is primed. Now I should now actually just flip over the ignition switch. However, here on the Skyhawk I need just to do this, which is not realistic. But anyway, parking brakes are set. Is there anyone here walking around? No. Let's yell out, clear prop. There we go, back to both, 1,000. You can see oil pressure in the green, generator on, avionics on. Nice sound of the engine. Let's put on our virtual headphones, that's much better. And let's turn on some lights here. I love the Cessna Skyhawk lighting. A little bit more for you guys to see. I guess that's okay. And then we can turn off our flashlights. Boom. Alrighty. Here we are. Okay, looking good. Then we can turn on, or we can retract our flaps. Didn't really verify whether they went down. Yeah, they are in sync. And I know they went down, but not in at the same time and in sync, which is an important check to do. Okay, so full mode C, altitude mode, even though we're on the ground, via far button, boop, there we are. So now the John Wayne controllers know that we are here. Okay, engine is a little bit too high RPM, so 1000 is good. Although you can see the engine is already unrealistically warm and that stuff, so it isn't. We're now free just to go to high RPMs. But initially, when the engine is still cold, you shouldn't be any above 1300 or 1400 RPM to allow the engine to warm up first, as we've seen at the with the A2A simulations Skylane, and also the Skyhawk, I assume.
Fiber 2 hotel pump sliding 320.
First mode here, and well, frequencies. So as I said, we're going to check in with ground. And what is ground? Done. Yeah. Ground on our side is 120.8. So COM1 120.8. Swap. There we go. And then on the standby on COM1, we're going to set tower. And tower for our runway 20 left, that's what I'm going to expect, 119.9. 119.9. Okay, so those are set. Those are the only frequencies that we need just to do closed traffic here on John Wayne, which is good. But I would also like to check in with ADIS.
John Wayne Tower, this is November 77. Mike Bravo is at Lima for 20 right to take off.
Love PilotEdge. Cannot get enough of it. So let's turn that one off and go to COM2 and listen to ADIS, which is 126.0. 126.0. Seen on 4 flight that it's already VMC, but it's always good to check. And also we need to communicate our weather information code to the controller, so that's the one that we need. That's set on COM2 active. Scratchpad. Let's have a listen.
Orange County, John Wayne Information Lima. 400 Zulu weather. Sky conditions 2100 scattered, 30,000 broken. Visibility more than 10.
Okay.
Temperature to 0, dew point 1 for. Wind 190 at 6 variable 160 to 20. Altimeter 2989.
2989.
Arriving and departing runways to 0
Set.
right, to 0 left. Advise on initial contact.
Lima.
You have Lima.
Okay. Saw some winds there, or I heard that there were some winds, so we're gonna see what is out there. Winds are calm. We got a cloud layer scattered around 2000. Well, our traffic pattern altitude is at 1000. Just double check that, by the way. Here on John Wayne Airport, yeah, you can see there on the top, pattern altitude 1000 MSL, like we did in the previous flight. So we are just fine here. And perhaps some winds. Let me see if I can also pull up here the METAR weather. 210 at 7 knots. Well, that can be considered winds calm, but I guess we're fine. Okay, so we're all set. We've got Lima. So what we're going to do is announce where we are, that we're here for closed traffic. We sign in with ground, which we already set, and I guess we're gonna get a taxi instruction from Alpha. Yeah. So we are currently over here. So I guess Alpha Hotel Charlie to Kilo. That's what I've been hearing all that time here on PilotEdge. So hey, that's why it's so good to imitate the guys on PilotEdge. Frosty, are you like an actual pilot or no? I'm not an actual pilot. Although with Flight Simulator you can come close to a lot of those procedures, but no, I'm not a real world pilot yet. But I'd love to use my Flight Simulator to get very close to that real world experience, and someday step in a Cessna and impress my flight instructor. Hopefully. Clear. Back to my scratchpad. So that's the plan. Anything else that we need to consider here before we do our call? I guess not. So here we go. We're at the southeast south ramp. Southeast ramp. Information Lima. And we're here to do close traffic. Okay. Let me set my communication here to, I don't know what this is called, a mode or, I don't know, to the first one.
217 Sierra Los Angeles Center.
Let's wait
Good
for
afternoon.
some space.
Cross Sogs at
Oh, I didn't lean my engine. That's what I forgot to do.
2987.
Bad form. There goes the EGT. Okay.
At 2987.
John Wayne, ground, good day, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango, and your mic on the southeast ramp with information Lima for close traffic.
DHTIM, John Wayne ground, squawk VFR. And where you parked at?
Southeast ramp.
DHTIM, Roger, 120 left at Kilo, taxi via Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo.
20 left at Kilo via Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo, Papa Hotel Tango, mic. I am VFR, right, on my transponder. Yeah, 1200. Yeah, so I guess he didn't see me yet. And again, you can see a lot of instructions here, the taxi instructions. But because we rehearsed, you can already even note down the expected taxiway instruction. And that can really help you to anticipate your ATC stuff, and that makes it a lot less complex than it might seem if you hear this for the first time.
Make it 10 degrees there.
Taxi lights on. Yeah, that's it. So TrackIR
Yeah,
on.
443 contact Las Vegas Tower 119.9er. See it.
Parking brakes released. There we go. Brake test. Those are working.
Yeah, United 443 Las Vegas
Man,
Tower
it's dark.
119.9er.
Got a right turn here. Where's that taxiway? Oh, here it is. Turn indicator's working, slip indicator's working, artificial horizon is stable. These dashed lines show that we are moving away from the non-movement area.
Las Vegas United 1443, we are final 25 left.
And here's the taxiway.
Yeah, 1443 Las Vegas Tower, wind variable at 3 runway 25 left collect.
Here we go.
Good land 25 left United 443.
Okie doke. So what we're going to do is go this way, then go left, and then pick up on Charlie. Here you can see 20 left, at least from the other side, so 02 right. So we're going to taxi all the way down, past these gates, and then at Kilo we're going to switch to tower on our own turn, on our own call, I guess, so we don't need to wait until ground instructs us to go to tower. That's only when we land and clear the runway. Then we need to wait until tower instructs us to go to ground. And again, no landing lights, no strobe lights, just taxi lights, beacon, and at this time, because it's night, nav lights, navigation lights. Beautiful John Wayne, the heart of PilotEdge, the PilotEdge network. And soon we're going to do our V2, guys, and go to Ontario, which is a few miles north here. So here's hotel. So we're currently on Alpha in black, pointing to the left to hotel. So it's going to make a turn here. Here it is. So whoop. So now we're turning on to hotel, and as you can see there, black hotel and Charlie to the right. I don't know if you can see, but so that's over here. Oh, too fast. Yeah, here. Now we're on Charlie. And now we go all the way down until we hit Kilo, and that's our departure spot. So here are the gates. Imagine the time in about a year or so, perhaps even sooner, I do not know, when we're going to fly bigger airplanes here on the uncertified pilots, let alone IFR, but also bigger airplanes. Fly to Las Vegas or San Francisco or bigger airports here in the PilotEdge network. So we're currently on Charlie and this is Juliet. So to go further down. I'm noticing that I'm being pushed away from the center line, so I'm pretty active on my pedals here, my rudder. So I guess I should have remembered also the wind direction 210
443 vacated Alpha 5
and applied some crosswind correction while taxiing. 210 is from behind, so there's no crosswind correction to do, but I guess when we make our turn here to the left.
Yeah, 443 crosswind.
Here's Kilo,
right,
guys.
Alpha 5, taxi Delta gates, via Bravo 5, Charlie monitor ground point 1. Zip.
So here we go, a little bit of braking here.
So across 25 right to Alpha 5, taxi got Delta Gates 5 Bravo 5, Charlie
20 left, confirmed at Kilo.
443, so.
Now before we're gonna sign into tower, we're gonna do our run up. Engine is warm, that's a precondition, yeah, okay. So mixture full in, here we go, 1800s, see if everything is still stable. It is, no annunciator messages, so magneto test, left magneto, small drop is good, back to both, looks good, right one, small drop, not a lot of difference between the two, so that's good. We should also check the landing lights here or other stuff to see if we see a dip here of the M meter to see that it is actually charging the battery, but that is not implemented here, I can see. Back to full idle to see if the throttle stop works and the engine doesn't quit on us. And that seems to work too. Back to 1000, that's the default kind of default easy going RPM to keep the engine running. So that's good. Alright, so we're ready to go. Thank you for following, Frosty. Let me see. So our transponders already set to mode C, so that's good. We can now switch to tower, already set in the comp 1 standby, so we're now on tower, and we can announce our departure. First we can see if no one is here on the runway, because then it's kind of silly to request anything. I guess no one is there. Okay, so at Kilo, ready for departure, close traffic. John Wayne Tower, Skyek Papa Del Tango, any mic is holding short 20 left at Kilo, ready for departure.
PHTIM, John Wayne Tower, 120 left at Kilo, cliff takeoff left, close traffic, approved, report midfield, down 1 each time.
Clear runway, clear for takeoff, runway 20 left and report midfield each time, Papa Del Tango, mic.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo, contact SoCal
I hit the wrong button here
4.9.
at the bottom of the menu of my ForeFlight, so that flipped the page. Okay. Basic. Landing lights on. Strobe lights on. Flaps we don't need. Trim is set. Mixture is full in. Let's go. Again, I love these strobe lights, and it also reminds me that our window is still open. So window closed. No one is on final here. Okay, so we got a headwind.
77 Mike Bravo,
Slightly coming
SoCal,
from the
South
right.
2987.
Full power, right rudder. Keep it on center line. Keep it on center line, Tim. Airspeed's alive, engine is in the green. Whoa, man, gusty. 50, 60, rotate. There we go. So I guess it's more gusty than ForeFlight tells us it is. Yeah, I can see. Look at the airspeed indicator. Whoa! This is gonna get tough, guys. 300 feet. Keeping my speed around 80. And 300 feet below our traffic pattern altitude, we're gonna make our left turn to crosswind. Look at these city lights. Gorgeous. 700. Let's make the turn. Shallow turn. See some traffic in the far distance. Coming up on 1,000. Keeping my speed around 80. Now pushing down. Still making that turn because we're not there yet. Allowing the airspeed to increase. Now we can, because we're on altitude, increase our bank, and there we are on crosswind. Less power. Now if you look at the lights, the city lights, you can see we're being pushed away from our track. So it's not really about just flying the heading bug. You really need to fly that track. Course, I don't know what it's, I guess it's called a ground track. That's why the wind direction is good. So you need to be crabbed in your traffic pattern legs to really fly that traffic pattern ground track wise. So even though now the heading bug is on the ground or on the bottom here and I'm flying a downwind leg heading wise, well, I don't see that I'm being pushed away here just yet, but John Wayne to the left. Also, I love the way that you cannot see the runway here. The runway lights are directional, so X-Plane even shows you that, so that's cool. Let's announce that we are in midfield. John Wayne Tower, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango Mike is midfield, left downwind, 20 left, 4 touch and go.
HCIM runway 20 left, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 20 left for Papa Hotel Tango Mike.
Delta 217 Sierra, contact SoCal approach 134 point.
A little bit slow on that airspeed. Should be around 80. Just put in some flaps, so it doesn't surprise me, but still.
Delta 217 Sierra, 134.2.
A lot of traffic here in front of us, drone traffic, perhaps real-world pilots on PilotEdge.
7 Mike Bravo, you appear to be off course. That would be a fail if you were on the actual exam. You didn't join the
Okay.
Los Angeles 310
Let's make a turn
outbound.
here for base. No need to announce that we're on base and on final. We received our clear to land instruction or clearance, so that's enough. Speed. That's the speed.
Taxi 7 Mike Bravo, fly heading 3.
Okay, one thing that is special about John Wayne, and I guess for any airport that has parallel runways, is that you need to make your base leg a little bit short because you don't want to overshoot your base leg, as I already mentioned in the previous episode, because then we might fly over the final
Taxi 7 Mike Bravo, it's 134.2.
final approach leg of runway 20 right.
Delta 217 Sierra, SoCal approach, Burbank
So
out
here we go.
729
I'm pushing on that yoke, so I'm adding some nose down trim. Very subtle stuff. Now let's see what that wind does. Now you can see now the runway lights are now much more visible. So that's not something that Prepared gives you, FSX. We're cleared for the option, so we can do whatever. We can do a touch and go, a stop and go. We can do a full stop landing. We can also do a low approach, so overfly the runway. Although I think if you're planning to do a stop and go, it is good to announce that because it might disrupt the flow, the traffic pattern flow, especially when you're flying with other guys in the traffic pattern. Okay, let's focus here. There comes the runway. It's not that gusty, but a little bit high on airspeed, but that was quite a bit deliberate because gusty winds are dangerous for stalling. There we go. There we are. Flaps up. Full power. Keeping on that runway center line. And rotates. And pull on the yoke. Yep. Again, I need to look up those windsocks here on X-Plane because they don't show the right direction. I'm mean, ATIS was telling us a wind
77
direction
Mike
from
Bravo,
210.
frequency is 134.2. Fly
And it was
heading
clearly
090,
pointing to
contact
something
SoCal
like
approach
120, where I
134.2.
was bad in listening what the ATIS was about. Again, VY, 80 knots,
134.20.
coming up to 700, so we're about to make our crosswind turn. No traffic there. Shallow bank because we're still climbing. 15 degrees. And we'll hit our traffic pattern altitude.
77 Mike Bravo,
First.
SoCal approach to maintain 4,000, spec dial runway 8 approach, advise you weather.
Or just at the same time. So pitch down. Pull out that throttle lever. Need to pull on that yoke so a little bit nose up trim. And let's continue to downwind. A little bit more power.
Or 2 Hotel Papa, you say you want to go to Nesty for the approach?
Let's put the nighttime a bit to dawn, guys, to show off these light effects.
Piper 2 Hotel Papa, flighting
There's a
100.
button here on my joystick that I
Contact
can
SoCal
use
approach
to change the
124.35.
time a little bit more. Oh, we're gonna go to sunset, I guess. It's also nice. There's John Wayne. A little bit more power.
November 282 Hotel Papa, fly heading 100.
We're midfield.
Contact SoCal approach 124.35.
John Wayne Tower, Sky Papa Delta Tango, Mike is midfield 20 left for touch and go.
Or 2 Hotel Papa, they're heading 100.
Did he hear me?
PHTIM 20 left, clip the out.
Clear for the option 20 left, Papa Delta Tango, Mike.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo.
One weird thing that is going on PilotEdge, although it's not really that weird,
To 170 left.
but is, well, it's generally unusual, is the fact that the controllers are on multiple channels at the same time. I mean, PilotEdge, there are only 3 or 2, sometimes
7
even
Mike
1
Bravo, you're turning left.
controller online.
230 heading is not to the left, it's to the right. Turn right heading 230.
So they need to control on different frequencies, on multiple frequencies.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo, you look
That
like you
means
joined
that we can only
localizer.
hear the
You're doing a
control.
lot of
We
things
hear the
here.
controller on all
You
the
don't have a
frequencies,
clearance
but only
to
hear
do.
the
You can't
pilots
join a localizer if you do not
on
have
a
clearance
specific
to do so.
frequency. So as you can hear, you can only hear the controller, but you don't hear the response of the pilots, which is actually something that you can encounter in the real world, especially when you're flying at night. But here on PilotEdge now it's quite usual. For a time it was not.
282 Hotel Papa, SoCal approach, spec dial runway 28 right approach, altimeter 2990.
Alright, making that early turn. Let's do just one traffic pattern.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo, if you think of it like an
we'll call it a
autopilot
day.
would, if you programmed each instruction into an autopilot, what would the autopilot do? You know, you get your clearance, it would fly the route. You get a heading, it would fly the heading. You get an altitude, it'll fly the altitude. It'll just do that forever until you change it.
What is going on there?
Up to 17 Sierra, contact SoCal approach 134.9.
There we go, keeping my speed a bit high, because those wind gusts can also take away your speed. And if you're around your stall speed, you might stall when you don't want to stall. So
Papa 2 Hotel Papa, fly heading
keep
180.
some margin. There we go.
Up to 17 Sierra, SoCal approach, maintain 9,000,
Up a
altimeter
bit.
2987.
Come on, baby. Come on. Center line. Perfect. Flaps up, full power. Last lap. 60, rotates. So far, so good. Now let's go dark. I like the dark.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo, flighting 330.
And it was a nighttime flight, so let's stick to that. No, Nietzsche, I did an annunciator message test. I know you're focused on that one. You remembered, you mentioned that one in one of the previous episodes too. No, I did one, and it's quite important to do an annunciator message test. Because if the panel is broken, there might be an error with the engine or with the aircraft, but we don't see because the panel doesn't work. So that's why we do these tests. There we are, traffic pattern, altitude, and also on our crosswind leg. Pulling on that throttle lever and making that downwind turn. Now this time I'm going to announce to the controller that we are for a we're going to do a full stop, even though we're cleared for the option. I guess once more, I think it's good to let the controller know what we're up to if we already have a plan. So here we are, 1,000 feet. There's John Wayne. A bit slower. Again, I'm pulling on that yoke, so a little bit pitch up trim. Again, you don't see the runways here. John Wayne Tower, Sky Papa Hotel Tango, and iMac is midfield 20 left for a full stop this time.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo, turn right heading 080.
Did he hear me?
PHTIM runway 20 left of the option.
Clear for the option 20 left. Papa Hotel Tango, iMac.
Delta 217 Sierra, fly heading 180 to maintain 7,000 back to John Wayne
Okay,
Airport.
so we still got to cleared the option, but I presume that the controller knows what we're up to.
Park 2 Hotel Papa, turn 5 degrees left.
Okay, so about to make our base leg turn.
Lexi 7 Mike Bravo, 1 mile from Silex, fly heading
Tomorrow, I
110,
guess, we're going to
maintain
practice our
3,000
feet too. We're going to head that direction to Ontario, which is also going to be quite a short flight, but from one Charlie airport to the next, and we're going to use flight following, guys. Now, because our airspeed is quite high, quite great, as you can see, we cannot go down another notch of flaps because we should be in the wide band. So that's 85 or
Mike
less
Bravo,
knots.
copy the altitude 3,000, maintain 3,000 till established.
There's the runway. Again, I'm pulling on that yoke, so
7 Mike Bravo, maintain 3,000 until established.
pitching up. Pitch up trim. Again, now we're in the wide band, a little bit more. There we are. Still 4 wides. But there we're going down. 1,000 feet, 800 feet per minute. So, because we're going to park again here at the southeast ramp, I'm not going to hit that touchdown spot over here, but just
7 Mike Bravo,
land
contact
a little bit
Tower
further down the
18.7.
runway. Saves some time on the runway. Expedite our exit.
November 77 Mike Bravo is with you on the Alice approach at 3,000.
Here we
7
go.
Mike Bravo, Burbank Tower, runway 8, clear to land, wind variable 5.
A little fast.
Harbor 282 Hotel Papa, your headings have been all over the place, and now you're turning through heading 250 now. Look like you're heading to a 270. Where are you going?
Man, someone is messing up there. Great landing. Here
Or
we are.
282 Hotel
Pulling
Papa,
on the
you're
yoke,
instructed
some
to fly
aerodynamic
heading
braking here.
180. And then I said turn left 5 degrees. That would put you at a 175 heading. You're on a 270 heading now. Where are you heading?
Oh my gosh. So this is hotel. Now we're not
2 Hotel
free
Papa, that's not going to work now. Fly heading 090.
swap to ground on our own accord. We need to stay with tower. Because they need to know that we are clear of the runway.
L217 Sierra contact SoCal approach 128.1.
Here we are, keeping my landing lights on. 1,000.
Pop-up tower, this is November 77 Mike Bravo.
Window.
I am getting back with you, letting you know that I read the instructions when you sent back to me.
L217 Sierra SoCal approach, showing altimeter 2987, landing 130 vector vision approach runway 20 right.
John Wayne Tower, Sky, Papa Delta Tango, India Mike is clear, runway 20 left at hotel, ready to taxi to the ramp southeast.
PHTIM text parking via Hotel Alpha, monitor ground 120.1, see.
We'll monitor ground and we'll taxi to the ramp via Hotel and Alpha, Papa Delta Mike, bye.
Legacy 7 Mike Bravo 6.
Okay. Monitor ground, so swap is just in our standby on COM 1.
Because you was talking
So,
to somebody
boom.
else.
Roger.
Still the same controller.
R2
That's
Hotel
what
Alpha,
I
flighting 182.
meant with the whole PilotEdge kind of flow. Landing lights off, strobe lights off, taxi lights. Oh, I didn't turn off my taxi lights before I departed. I did that before. Same mistake. Not really a big one, but not a necessary one. That's why it's a mistake. Okay. And we're back on Alpha. One thing I do not really understand is on Alpha, I guess airplanes can taxi one way, one direction, but also the other. So what happens now when one airplane is taxiing our direction? I guess in that case, they would have instructed us to
Ontario clearance. Good
hold
afternoon.
there
Southwest
at hotel.
44 IFR to San Francisco.
Thank you, Steeler. Thank you for your donation. Much appreciated. Again, forgetting to lean here for ground. So that's something that I missed out on.
Flighting 280.
And I forgot my taxi lights, but all else went pretty great, I think. Also communications.
Southwest 44 standby.
So this is so much cooler, so much more interactive and challenging, flying while talking to ADC.
R2 Hotel Papa, 2 miles from Nesty. Flighting 290.
Okay, so where are we going to park?
Maintain, correction, flighting 300, maintain 3,800
I
till
think this is the place where we started.
right
No airplane to the left of us. Yeah, this is where we parked. Again, here you can see this area, this line shows that from this point on, we can do whatever we like to do taxi-wise without talking to ADC at all. Which is called the non-movement area, which is a weird, one of the most weird names to indicate what the area actually means. But anyway, boom,
44,
there we are.
Clearance to San Francisco Airport, Pomona Manor departure.
Okay, so first, off the radar, there we are.
Departure frequency 13.
Switch away, bye-bye. Then avionics off before we shut down the engine, because there might be an electrical surge. Flight time for the logbook, 34 minutes. Avionics off, lights off, nav lights off, beacon can remain on. Also the dashboard lights off, and then it's good to first turn on our flashlight, obviously. So down you go. And then cut off. Magneto switch to off, batteries off, generator off, electrical, our virtual headphones off, park and brake. What we should keep that released, as Keith taught us a while ago, because then the ground crew can tow our airplane to another spot if necessary. But hey, let's just put on the park and brake. and we can open the door. Also close that window. Guys, here we are. Oh, that was cool. Very basic, I know, just a traffic pattern flight, but at night at a Charlie airport for the first time here. Really enjoyed that flight. Very cool. And next time we're going to fly to Ontario. So let's have a very quick preview of that flight. So that's the V2 rating, just a practice flight still. John Wayne, where we did our traffic patterns here, and then we're going to go. So John Wayne, Ontario. There it is. That's going to be our flight, with flight following, which I'm going to explain in the next slide. So yeah, another Charlie, as you can see with the magenta airspace depictions there. Thanks, Dad. Sweet dreams. Thank you for joining. So we are going to go to Ontario and then fly back again to John Wayne and then do our V2 for real. It's always fun to do a practice flight, and I need to practice a bit more to keep in shape. So that's cool. So then we're gonna depart from John Wayne, contact approach, and the approach controllers are usually, well, really good buddies here in the area, so they can coordinate my flight from John Wayne to Ontario, and then we contact the Tower of Ontario and then arrive at the airfield, which is going to be fun. Brief flight, but a nice ATC dense kind of flight, which is cool. It's in SoCal, so yeah, that's Ontario. So that's for the for tomorrow, I guess, when I have some time. Really looking forward to that flight, getting in preparation for my V2. Yeah, making progress here. So guys, thank you for joining in. Thank you for your follows. Thank you for your donation. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. And I'm hoping to see you next time on the Uncertified Pilot when I'm going to fly from John Wayne to Ontario. Guys, sweet dreams here. It's already midnight here in the Netherlands. Hoping to see you next time. Happy flights and blue skies. Bye.
I'm passing through 500, 715. 715, 134.125.